Greetings, 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 friends. I am Jada, your spiritual friend, and welcome to your weekly reading. Today, we will be conducting a reading for the week of November 29th to December 5th. Okay, so there's so much going on in the universe right now. We are currently experiencing a full moon in Gemini, and that moon is exactly opposing a Sagittarius sun, which has caused a lunar eclipse. Now, this lunar eclipse is very relationship oriented, right? This can cause us to really go within ourselves to realize the needs and the wants that we desire, right? Which can either sever relationships or cause a great need and awareness within two people for each other. Okay, so let's get right into it. What else is going on this week with your relationships, with you in general, for those who are not in relationships? Let's get right into it. We will be using three different decks. We'll be using the Wise Woman's Tarot deck by Flash Silvermoon. We will also be using the New Orleans Oracle deck by Fatima Embadged. And lastly, we'll be using the Conscious Spirit deck by Kim Dreyer. All very beautiful decks with very beautiful messages. So the message that you received for this week is to tap into your fertile side. This is Goddess Oshun, a Nigerian goddess of the rivers and streams, okay? As you see, she is sitting in a field, right? And her waters are overflowing, giving these women down here the ability to produce and become fertile after being barren, okay? So now is the time for everyone to tap into their creative energy, okay? To allow things to flow, to not be so caught up in how things are going to happen necessarily. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Allow things to flow. Do what you can today. Be in the present moment at all times as much as you can. I know that sometimes it can be difficult, but if you do allow that to happen, things will flow. Okay, and even in your relationships, making sure that you keep things fresh and new. You are confident about those things, okay? Because not only is fertility about children, okay, you are able to become fertile and bear children. When you are fertile in every aspect of your life, everything that you touch, you give birth to it. Okay, so that can even be in your relationships. Perhaps there is some fun. Perhaps there is some new life that needs to come forth in your relationship. And so that's something that needs to be addressed this week. Okay, next you have the Three of Swords. This is Goddess Kuan Yin. She is a goddess of compassion. As you see, she's crying, holding a baby. And then this moon in the background is also full. Okay, this represents a time for isolation, okay, alienation. Perhaps, right, some of you out there are feeling kind of overwhelmed, okay? Perhaps you're around someone all the time. Maybe it's a partner, a friend, okay? And maybe you need to spend some time alone, even if you just have been doing so many things that have been taking your attention. Perhaps you need to isolate and alienate yourself from the things that are overwhelming you so that you can get back to yourself, to show yourself some compassion in order for you to do the things that you need to do in order for you to optimally provide the needs that you have for yourself, okay? So step back a little bit when it comes to your relationships or just by yourself. Make sure that you are balanced in what you're doing, that you don't overwhelm each other with being all over each other all the time, or you don't overwhelm yourself, for the single people out there, with doing things that are not allowing you to take the time that you need for yourself, okay? Next, you have the Priestess of Wands. This is Bast. She is an Egyptian goddess of health, also fertility, also of healing. Okay, as you see, she is holding these ankhs in her hand, and ankh is a symbol of love, compassion, life, unity, wholeness. Okay, it's also a symbol of balance. The ankh represents the male and female organs coming together to produce life, because that is necessary as human beings, in order for us to produce life, we must come together in that manner. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to necessarily be with the opposite sex in order for you to be healthy, because that's not true, okay? If you are dealing with somebody, if you are part of the LGBT community, all this is saying is that you need to make sure, again, that you are taking the time to provide the health to yourself that you need. And so sometimes we can be so overwhelmed with someone else that we are dumbing ourselves down or shrinking ourselves, right? We can't be our whole self because of the fact that we're so concerned about what other people may be thinking. Okay, a funny story about Bast is that she originally was shown as a woman with a feline head. Okay, and then eventually she ended up becoming just a woman with a normal shaped human head. And so over time, her image was reduced. This is not something that you want to adopt when it comes to who you are. Be yourself, okay? Be exactly who you are without limiting yourself, okay? And if that means stepping away from something so that you can heal yourself, essentially, it doesn't just have to be a person. It can also be a habit that you may have. It can also be a job that may be taking all of your time. Stepping away from that so you can truly take the time to be in a balanced environment and to feel the things that you were supposed to feel, okay? Next, you have the Ace of Cups. This is the essence of water. As you see, this cup is overflowing, okay? When you implement this healing, okay, and you are balanced with taking time for yourself and isolating yourself when need be, okay, this fertile energy, this life-bearing energy will overflow into your life. Then you have the rainbow in the background representing unity, blending and synthesizing energies in order for you to shine, new beginnings, okay? There is an overflowing that is coming toward you. Okay, so that sudden awareness that we talked about, that great need that we will realize during this time of the full moon this week, that is something that will be overflowing, okay? Realize the needs that you have. Respect those needs, okay? Those boundaries that you have set for yourself that you may not be acknowledging, those are the things that need to be acknowledged, okay, and acted on. Next, with the Oracle. The Oracle has revealed the number 3. Also saying to let loose. And again, we have a full moon there, okay? This is, I can't make this up. This is what came out for you because of the fact that this full moon energy right now is serious. Let loose can mean that it's time to have fun, all right? Again, perhaps you've been with somebody, all right, in your house, or you've been doing the same exact thing every single day. Have a little fun, all right? And I know with COVID, it's a little difficult sometimes to plan exactly what it is that we want to do to have some fun, but there's so many different things you can do. You can get out in nature. There are some places that are open that you can go to so that you can have some fun, or listen to some music. Do some things that make you feel good inside your house. Tap into your creative side again. The goddess Oshun revealed herself because that fertile energy within you, that creative side, that is what needs to be shown. And also, this is a sign of Taurus. This is a grounding energy. This is a time for you to become grounded in who you are, realizing your needs, okay, and acting on that, and let loose. Have some fun. You don't necessarily have to be so serious all the time in your relationships and out. Even you single people out there, you don't have to be so serious all the time. Have some fun and enjoy yourself. Tap into that creative side. And lastly, the final card we have is a nurturing heart. A nurturing heart, making sure that you nurture yourself and others in your relationships. Okay, and the affirmation is, I am a protective spirit and reach out to all life with love and compassion. Okay, as we mentioned, getting out in nature, as you see, this fairy is becoming in contact with the animal kingdom. Perhaps getting in touch with your familiar furry friends, okay? Connecting with them. making sure that you are protective of your environment, protective of the space that you have put yourself in, and protective of your personal space. So when you need to isolate and you need to alienate yourself for your health, okay, that is something that will bring you life. That is something that will allow your creative side and your abundance to flow. All right, as you see, these lotuses are in this water. Goddess Kuan Yin is also sitting on top of a lotus. Lotuses grow in water. Okay, sometimes that water can be murky and dirty, but that beautiful lotus emerges. And so treat yourself as that lotus, okay? Despite the things that may be going on outside of the world, there are beautiful things that can emerge within you and without you, and other people can recognize them. But sometimes that growth requires your isolation so that you can be your optimal self, okay? So be you, okay? Step away, heal yourself, and do the things that are necessary for your health, okay, and your beauty, so that you can tap into that fertile side. That is your reading for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to this channel. If you are interested in a reading of your own, my information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again next week. Take care.